there! I don't know how these last few months have affected you, but I've been watching more TV. Have you ever heard of the Property Brothers? It's a reno show. Jonathan and Drew fix up people's homes, which made me want to renovate my whole house. My husband kept complaining that I was always rearranging the furniture and moving things around. But I was really just sick and tired of seeing the same old things in the same boring old places. Know what I mean? Come to think of it, that's exactly how most of us feel about the course books that we've been using for so long. It definitely is time for something new. Wouldn't you agree? That's why I called Jonathan and Drew to inspire my engaging team to come up with the coursebook reno for the 7th year. Now this is going to be an ambitious reno, but you know what they say about aprende. It's always worth it in the end. Let's take a closer look at our reno plan. We are going to start off with the entrance to our house so that we can engage students back to learning English. And we really only have 1 to 2 weeks to do this at the beginning of the year. Once we have the entrance that meets our needs, we're going to attack the kitchen and give it a complete makeover so that we can engage our students to learn the English skills that they need. When we are done with the kitchen, we'll head into the living room so that we teachers have time to rest a bit and gather our energy for what's really important. And if we don't use up our contingency plan, who knows? You may be in for a little surprise, but Jonathan and Drew would kill me if I told you more. So, let the renovating begin. Don't we just look up for the job? Our first step is to engage students to open up their learning gates to English. This means that we need to convince them that English is great and that they need it in their lives. Let's take a closer look at how we are going to do that. The first thing that we have to do is to tear down any chance of students having a falta de material at the beginning of the lesson, so that they can't be tempted to give up before the reno has even begun. Have a look at our Engaging 7 Reno project. On the back cover, we have a verb wheel. At the end of the book, we have an engaging dictionary and a really cool, extensive reading story. And to make sure that our Reno project is magazine perfect, we've added a booklet on the back of the back cover. At the back of the booklet, there's a bonus section with the listening scripts of all the audios in the student's book, just in case technology fails, and the answer key for the open-ended questions and the writing tasks. As you can see, everything the students need is in the student's book, so there is no way they can forget anything at home. Our next Reno task is just as important. We're not going to start the year with a Unit 0 full of boring revision when our 7th year program repeats most of what the students learnt in the 6th year anyway. Instead, we're going to go for a more engaging option to help students feel that learning English really is going to be more engaging this year. We are going to invite students into our classrooms to experience British and American culture for themselves. Then we'll begin each unit with a fun video and the revision of the main vocabulary and grammar contents that students need for that unit. What a learning entrance! Wouldn't you agree? Our next Reno will have our students letting their guard down and learning English without even realizing it. We know that nowadays students are visual and auditory learners, so our Reno plan has come up with the perfect Reno tools to engage students to have fun while learning English. This time, we'll begin with fun vocabulary and grammar games, that will have students playing again and again to get to the next level. Let's have a look at a sneak peek.
I want to move to a house with a garden. I want to move to a house with a balcony. I want to move to a house near the mountains. I prefer living in the city.
Then we'll add lots of engaging videos, songs and karaokes to find the next Beyoncé out there. You're welcome to sing along, if you like.
I'm sitting here in the boring room. It's just another rainy Sunday afternoon. I'm wasting my time, I got nothing to do. I'm hanging around, I'm waiting for you, but nothing ever happens, and I wonder.
We'll top things off with a fun verb tense game so that we can get our students to master the English tenses they need to know in the 7th year. And the beauty of this Reno project is that we can use these add-ons in a face-to-face and virtual classroom. Teaching with Engaging 7 really does make you feel alive, doesn't it just? Ready to look at the before and after of our first Reno project? Wow, pretty amazing, right? Time to move on to Reno project number 2. Now, this is a great Reno trio. This time, we're going to gut the kitchen and build a brand new kitchen in its place to cook up the skills our students need in the 7th year. Our second Reno task is to engage students to like reading. After all, a house needs a good rocky foundation, or it might just come tumbling down. In our previous house, many students didn't like to read, so Engaging 7 presents reading with a twist. Step 1 of our Reno is to make sure that students see an appealing text on the page. Step 2 is to allow them to read in a way that they can relate to. This is why they are going to start off by watching an animated karaoke reading video that they can read along with. How about we read a text together?
3 different Most Valuable Player awards and 2 Olympic gold medals. But Kobe was also an undefeated star at changing children's lives. He believed that sports are a tool to helping less fortunate children dream.
Once we've got them interested in the text, we're going to invite them to read the text for themselves. This means making sure that students can't get demotivated because they can't understand what they are reading. This is why we've highlighted the difficult words in the text and included them in the bilingual dictionary in the back of the book that students can use to look up words they don't know. Of course, we'll give students access to these tools so that they can revisit the text we did in class at home. At this point, we are ready to move on to the next step of our Reno project. We want to design our learning kitchen in such a way as to engage students to speak English. This means following a baby step approach to speaking English. Remember the reading texts? Well, we're going to use them to get students ready to speak. Have a look at the speech recognition tool, which allows our students to practice their pronunciation so that others can't tease them when they speak English. And the best part is that they can record themselves to see how well they are progressing. Let's have a look at a mini demo together.
This is why he dedicated himself to improving social missions.
This is why he dedicated himself to improving social missions.
The next step of our Reno is to guide students to speak for themselves. So we are going to begin by teaching them the words and language functions they need to speak in a very safe and controlled environment. And we have added a speaking tutorial video to engage students and make sure that they can get it right. Have a look at a snippet so you can see what I mean.
How does it fit?
Perfect. How much is it?
It's £39.
Here you are.
Thank you. Here's your change.
Thanks. Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Now it's your turn. Role-play the dialogue with your partner.
But our Reno plan is even more ambitious than this. We wanted to make sure that this is our forever home for the next 6 years. So we have added a little extra that deals with spoken production too. Our units end with a collaborative speaking project so that we can evaluate students' spoken production. Sylvia and Isabel have gone into the classroom and tested this. This is why our workbook is a flip-flop workbook. If you turn it over, you'll find the Speakers and Writers corner with extra scaffolding for the speaking tasks in the student's book. And wait for it, a finishing touch that will make all the difference. Guided speaking cards that students can personalize and use to create a dream presentation. Time to tackle the writing elephant in our old house. Now this is going to be a Reno project to remember. We have also made sure to build writing tasks that are carefully scaffolded for our students with models and frame texts for them to follow, and writing tutorials that help students see how to become an engaging writer step by step, so that no student gets left behind. Let's watch a snippet, shall we?
Let's start by writing hi and the person's name. Now, let's write a few sentences about the family gathering. My favourite family gathering is definitely Sunday lunch. My family is really busy during the week, so we don't usually have dinner together. Now, let's give a few details about what usually happens during this gathering.
Then, in our Writer's Corner section, we have help with pronunciation and even more scaffolding. This will have our students becoming little Shakespeares in no time. And that brings us to the end of our second Reno project. Ready to see the before and after? Now, this is a kitchen that our colleagues will envy, right? Look at the massive island! What a perfect place to speak and write away! We're on a tight budget, but we still have the resources we need to implement one last Reno project. This time, we'll be attacking the living room, which we all know is the heart of any home. Because without an engaging teacher, everything suddenly becomes so much more difficult. What's the one basic tool that you need to transform a house into a real home? That would be time. If you're always running to complete the planificação, it's hard to make a difference in the classroom, isn't it now? That's why the first step of this Reno is to make sure that we have the time to complete the planificação without the usual stress that drives us crazy. We have built a course book that is doable. Notice how it just has 5 units with 3 short subunits. And notice how each unit is divided into 2 parts. Part 1 contains the aprendizagens. This means that even if you only teach this part of the unit, you will always have complete the planificação anual and taught the aprendizagens. So, what's part 2 for? This part is called the English Plus, and it has extra grammar, vocabulary, and reading practice for stronger students or classes, or for schools that have more carga letiva. With this amazing Renault, now we can teach English in the way that makes the most sense for us. Time to move on to the next step of our engaging Renault, implementing a cross-curricular approach to learning so that it becomes more real and meaningful. Our Renault project offers 6 DAC projects that can easily be applied to your teaching context. Where can you find them? At the end of every unit, of course. We've also prepared an extensive reading short story for you to articular with Portuguese by reading the tale they need to understand, Leandro, o Rei da Ilíria. Salty Love, an adaptation of the traditional Portuguese tale, Salt and Water. Glory, glory, it's time for a story. The happiest person in all the land was the king himself. Why, you may ask? Well, the answer is simple. He possessed the 3 most precious treasures in the whole kingdom. Of course, we've made sure that all these ducks have been prepared for you in the teacher's file, so that following the perfil de aluno is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Our engaging Renault team has gone the extra mile to prepare one last little Renault bonus to help you relax after a long day of meetings. We have a little something that will help you when the going gets tough in the classroom. Time for Renault task number 4. To help you save energy for the classroom where it's needed, we have given you a teacher's file with all the extras that you need to enjoy your teaching and learning garden. Everything is in a Word format so that you can personalize it, including the ducks we just spoke about, the vocabulary and grammar fascinas that are a classic in any home, the tests that help you evaluate all your students with a heart. And because we know that you need tests that no Centro de Estudos can copy, we have created another techie tool called the Test Generator. This tool gives you another 3 graded tests with different exercise types that you can mix and match to create a new and unique test. As you can see, testing with Engaging 7 is just a few simple clicks away. And finally, the Educação Inclusiva section that makes sure that everyone is engaged and that no child is left behind. Now, this is a Renault that we'll dip into again and again and again, year after year. Ready to see the before and after? Isn't teaching with Engaging 7 sweet? As you can see, our Renault gives students all the resources that they need to be engaged and have fun learning English. And it also gives us the tools we need to make sure that this is our forever home for the next 6 years. Basically, Engaging 7 is a Renault project that transforms any learning house into a home. Because teaching English makes us feel alive, and we deserve to feel that every day. Glory, glory, this is just the beginning of our engaging story.